Okay, navigation within Blender. Start a fresh new scene here. By default, it switches over to the top view, which now, if you hold Alt and click with the left mouse button, allows you to go into the orthographic. Now, keep in mind that is pretty annoying. The fact that you can go, let's say, to the top view, and if you forget about the Alt button, which I usually do, and hit it and start clicking, it becomes the perspective view. So just kind of get used to that. Get used to the fact that all views become your perspective view until you have to go back and switch views again. So now another feature that I thought was pretty sweet was go back to user preferences. And if you go in here to system, I can emulate a number pad. Now again, I told you before I was on a laptop computer where I do not have a number pad. So I can emulate one. So now I have a number pad. Okay, and now let's go back to buttons mode. So if I have a number pad, I can quickly look over here. Top is 7, so I can hit 7. Yep. And here's my other ones. Side, front. So 3170. 3170. Just remember that as a phone number. You're all right. 3170. Okay, now that we have that, let's go back to navigation. So Alt's your best friend, pretty much. Now Alt and Shift allows you to pan. Alt and Control allows you to zoom. If you let go of everything on the keyboard and just use the middle mouse button, you can also zoom. That's the scroll feature on the middle mouse button. So there we go. Rotation, panning, scaling. That is all there is to Blender as far as the navigation goes. Now, navigation's one thing, but what about moving the object? That's another thing. So right now I can see my directional arrows. Z is up in Blender. So blue is Z. X is red. Y is green. X, Y, Z. I can also know that by going over here and I can see my little tiny compass that allows me to see what axis I'm in. So if I want to move an object, it's very easy. Left mouse button, click and drag. Okay. But if I want to move that object only in Y and not the others, a little bit different story. Okay. Just by clicking on the green arrow does that rest assured that I'm only moving it in the Y axis. Now what's really nice is later on, just by doing the other tools, I can lock everything out except for Y and only move the object's components in a Y axis or a Z axis or an X axis. Okay, now that is to move. If I want to scale an object, it's S on the keyboard. Now I can scale. And R is to rotate. And rotation, if you hit R and X, for example, you can see this line magically appears in here. Well, R and X means R, I'm going to rotate it, X, only in the X axis. Oh, I love that. Now, it gets even better. So if you choose not to do this, hit the right mouse button. See how it canceled it? Now let's do it a little bit differently. This time hit R and then X and then type in, let's see, 60 degrees. 60. Isn't that sweet? So it rotated X 60 degrees. Okay, again, right mouse button will take it back to where it was normally. Let's do it one more time. Let's go into R, Z, 30. This time we want to change it so it stays. The easiest way to do this, I found, is just hitting enter on the keyboard. You can also left mouse button. Sometimes on a Macintosh, though, we all know that left and right mouse buttons get kind of confusing at times. So I'm just saying enter is a very universal way to saying, okay, I really want this change to occur, and that's how it works. So if I want to undo that now, I have to hit Command and Z, which is undo. Okay, so rotate, scale, and move. Scale works the exact same way. If I want to scale this in only Z axes, I can hit scale, Z, and now I can only scale it in the Z axes. Very clever. I love that feature. So that's all you need for navigation right now. Next, we look at edit mode and how that works.